thrilling episode today. Today we're gonna look at 3 luxury yet sporty sedans under 1 crore taka. We have the 5 Series, the E-Class and the Crown. So let's go. First up, we have the G30 BMW 530e, which is a plug-in hybrid. And to the left, we have the W213 E350e, which is also a plug-in hybrid. And finally, to the right, we have the S220 Crown RS. Now, of the 3 cars, the BMW's dimensions are the largest, followed by the E-Class and then the Crown. All 3 cars comfortably sit at 16 feet. And the width of the cars are approximately 6 feet, with the E-Class and BMW being a bit wider than the Crown. And also for the height, we can see the E-Class and the Crown have a similar height. However, the BMW is a bit taller at 4.85 feet. The BMW 5 Series retains the classic angel eye headlight setups and the kidney grills. But if you look at the Crown, you'll see the entire grille is like a crown and the headlights boast 3 LED projections. Now the E-Class here dropped the quad headlights. Before they used to come with quad headlights. Now they've gone with 1 single beam projection and 2 LED strips. So this is departing from a long heritage of quad headlights. However, it still retains the classic Mercedes huge chrome grille in the middle with the Mercedes look. All of the cars here came with 360-degree proximity sensors and 360-degree cameras, which give you a warning if any car is moving on too close or if you're about to have a collision. In terms of the wheels, the 5 Series and Crown come with 18-inch alloys, but the E-Class here came with 19-inch AMG alloys. And one thing to note here is that you can see it has drilled brake rotors. Moving on to the rear, all 3 cars here came with dual exhaust and LED rear tail lamps. However, the BMW 5 Series did not come with the diffuser. The Crown and the E-Class actually came with the diffuser. All 3 of the cars have similar luggage capacity in the boot, which is approximately 400 to 410 liters. The 5 Series and the E-Class are e-hybrids, so the 5 Series has a charging port on the front left fender and the E-Class has a charging port on the rear bumper. The BMW 530e here came with a 2-liter turbocharged engine, which came with an 8-speed gearbox and electric motors. The combined output of the system is 248 horsepower and 420 Nm torque combined. The Crown came with a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine and a CVT gearbox. It did not come with the DCT or any fancy gearbox. However, it still manages to make a 226 horsepower and 300 Nm torque along with the hybrid battery. The Mercedes also came with a 2-liter turbocharged engine and 9-speed G30 gearbox and electric motors, which make a combined output of 285 horsepower and almost 500 Nm of torque. The BMW came with a beige interior, the Crown came with a white and black panda style interior, and the E-Class came with the most gorgeous tan interior. In the front of the cabin, for all 3 of the cars, you have power seat and memory seat options. You also have additional tweeters up front along with the speakers, and in the rear cabin, we have AC vents and climate control, except for the Crown, which only comes with AC vents and not the climate controls. One thing I like more about the E-Class is that it came with a panoramic roof. The 5 Series and Crown actually came with sunroofs, which is a nice touch, but of course I like the panoramic more. Now for me, infotainment systems are one of the most important features of a car because we spend most of the time messing with the infotainment system while we're driving our cars actually in the city and on the highway. Now the Crown came with 2 displays. One is a 7-inch display, another is an 8-inch display integrated in the dashboard. The E-Class came with the largest display, which is almost 10 inches, but the BMW falls a bit short, which has a heads-up style display of 7 inches. Okay, cluster wise, this is still better than the E-Class because the E-Class comes with a full LED cluster, and I think the LED cluster takes the character away from the car. But I like this way more than the E-Class, honestly. So here you can unlock the doors. You have your memory seat options here, 1 and 2. You have 2 options to set. Then here, unlike Japanese cars, you have the light settings. So আপনার যদি লাইট অন এবং অফ করতে হয় আপনার এখান থেকে করতে হবে, of course. And now আমরা যদি স্পোর্টে দেই, the cluster actually changes. and again আমরা যদি কমফোর্টে দিই ক্লাসটা চেঞ্জেস, ইকো দিলে ক্লাসটা again changes. So এখানে আমাদের traction button, we have the traction, sport, comfort, eco, and if you have the battery charge you can do the e-drive. These are the parking sensors. This is of course the handbrake, and এখানে হচ্ছে গিয়ে আমাদের controls, infotainment system. This comes with a lot of options. So you have the media, so this is for the phones, communication. If you go into my vehicle, you can set all kinds of things. I mean, the options here are honestly endless. If I go on, I'd have to go on for an hour. So moving on, you can actually set different profiles for different drivers, and you see the vehicle settings here. You can set them, and then আপনি যখন ড্রাইভার বদলাবেন তখন আপনি ডিফারেন্ট ড্রাইভারের জন্য ডিফারেন্ট সেটিংস আপনি সেট করে নিতে পারবেন। 3টা ড্রাইভার অপশন আছে। And then of course you have the contents main menu. These are the time and date settings here. This is the vehicle status, so you can see the tire pressure monitor and other service items, engine oil level, then you have if there are any fault codes, service requirements. So it's a very intelligent vehicle. So here's your driving computer. This tells you this is basically the average traffic speed, and this is the fuel consumption. Honestly, the fuel consumption is great. My favorite display, the sport display, really gets you in the mood. But before we get there, so this is the basically cruise control, and this is the speed limiter. So once you go up to 40, you can just set it here, and you can set a speed limiter here as well. On the other hand, you can select the modes from here. You can receive the calls, and the volume buttons are over here. Okay, we're in comfort mode. Okay, it goes without saying that a BMW is very comfortable, but the other day when we were shooting the 3 cars, আমরা দেখছি যে BMW প্রত্যেকবার বের হয়ে গেছে, and driving this BMW, this feels very very sporty. Okay, the responsiveness, honestly, Crown does not compare. Mercedes এর থেকে এটা responsiveness-টা much better, although the Mercedes makes more power, and we're only in comfort mode. If you go to sports plus, it gets more aggressive. This is why I say I like the sport display. Sport mode from 0. We are in the Crown today. Crowner যে জিনিসটা আমার সবথেকে ফেভারিট comparing to the other 2 cars, Crowner clusterটা is really amazing. I really don't like যে নতুন গাড়িগুলোতে এখন যে LED clusters দিয়ে দেয়, এইটা আমি একদমই পছন্দ করি না। Crowner clusterটা 3D and it looks really good. So this car came with a 360-degree camera. So currently getting 10.3 on this car, and it actually ran 48,000 kilometers if I'm not wrong. So you have the button for the camera right over here. So this brings you to your climate control, and this is your blower button. If you press here, you can go to the car's various settings. This is the main menu button basically. You can select from here. Now we have this. So you have the audio, navigation, TV, phone, informations. See, you can see the fuel economy gauge here, and then you have your various setups. The display is a bit smaller, and the touch takes a bit more time to give feedback, but it's good. You can actually change the display colors and other settings here. So you have your EV mode, handbrake যেটা আগে ছিল, and your traction buttons here. You have the S here, modes, snow, comfort, eco, normal, and sports plus. The comfort is quite good. Eco mode basically যেটা হয়, it's comfort but তেল কম খায়, you don't get the throttle response. I found that sport and sport plus মোটামুটি কাছাকাছি সব গাড়িতেই, including this one. Sport mode. Once the battery has charged, this car really runs very good. also you have the pedal shifters, you can engage them. D5, D6. Okay, this has 6 gears. I think it's actually a CVT, but it mimics gears, but it does it very well. So actually driving the car on the battery, it's very smooth. The engine doesn't come on. We actually have full charge, so it should go a long way. Being a plug-in hybrid, this thing has quite a few modes. You have hybrid E mode and E-Save. So now that we have full battery, we can actually try the E mode. The car is actually on Eco, so this should be very smooth. So now we're in comfort and doing the hybrid mode. Very comfortable, quite like it. We're going through the speed bumps. You know, this car is an AMG package car, so it's supposed to be stiff. It's not that stiff. I quite like it, and the bumpers are not very put to the ground, so you don't have a lot of scraping. What happens is the wheels are very big. You do kind of feel the bumps, but not in a bad way. You feel that they're there, but you don't feel the jerk, right? So that's pretty cool, actually. And yeah, it's if you have the money, I think you should definitely buy this car. I mean, you should definitely buy this car. We're gonna do a few more speed bumps just to see if they're inconvenient, but they're not. Look, just look at this. I'm going like 20 on the speed bump and very little. Not going to engine. It's completely being powered by the battery. My God. Completely seamless. Completely seamless. It's not like any Japanese hybrid you drive. I know it's not a right comparison, but it is what it is. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to hybrid, and then we're actually gonna change the mode to comfort and see how the comfort rolls. Okay, now we have the engine and the wow, and it's already flying. Still very comfortable. I'm going a bit fast and taking the curves, but still very comfortable. I really like it. First class mode, we put the foot down. Oh my God. Still very comfortable. Still very comfortable. My God, the owner must enjoy the car. So, to sum it up, the Crown definitely wins. In terms of the exterior, it is the best looking car. Moving into the interior, the E-Class definitely has the best looking interior. This is not to say the other two interiors are bad, but the E-Class is just a bit better. Now, when it comes to driving comfort, I think the BMW and the E-Class are tied. The Crown falls a bit behind. Overall driving sportiness is somewhere the BMW definitely wins in my book. The Crown and the E-Class all drive well, but the BMW definitely wins. Brand value wise, the BMW and E-Class definitely get an edge over Toyota. However, the Crown makes it up with its purchase cost and maintenance. In terms of reliability, up to 50,000 kilometers, all three cars are in a similar state. E-Class has the best fuel economy at 14k mpl, followed by the BMW at 12.9 and the Crown at 11.5. This review is strictly based on our opinion and our experiences. The car you think is the best depends on your experiences and preferences. Thank you.